Hi everyone, so this is a really quick one. I know it's a Thursday and we don't normally do new stuff today, but there was just a quick revision. It's a one-off lesson on expanding brackets because the challenge that you've got underneath this video is one where you need to be able to expand brackets. So I just thought I'd quickly go through why we do it, what we do, and how to do it so you can get on with the challenge independently and not need me too much. Let's go. So firstly, I want to think about perimeter. If we're looking at this rectangle, I'm sorry about the quality of the drawings. I hand drew all of them because I am a massive loser. But if we wanted to calculate the perimeter of this rectangle, there's a few methods we could do, and I'm sure you already know them. The first one is you could be really basic and you could do 4 add 4 add 2 add 2. But we probably want to be a little bit more efficient than that. So you could do something like 4 add 2, and then you could double that. So like this. Okay, and you can see they'll actually give you the same answer. So 4 add 4 add 2 will give us 12. So the perimeter here is 12. And also, if we do this bit here, the bit of the brackets, that's the bit we're going to work on today. But this bit will give us exactly the same answer. That will also give us 12. And I'll show you how in just a second. Okay, so let's have a little look at what that looks like. Well, here's another rectangle. This one has X's and 2's. There are two different ways of working out the perimeter. I want you to try and do both, please. And can you work out what the perimeter is of this rectangle? You don't have units on here. I haven't put centimeters, meters, millimeters, whatever. So you're just going to produce a number and a letter perimeter. Okay, pause the video and have a go at trying to do that. Okay, so the most basic way of doing this would be to do x, or it doesn't matter which way you do this round, x plus 2 plus 2. The more advanced way of doing this, you can see that there are 2 x's and there are 2 2's. So what we would do is there are 2 lots of x plus 2. Okay, and that's how we do it. And it doesn't matter which way around you do it, as long as you add them together correctly or multiply them out, you will get the answer of the perimeter being 2x plus 4. Okay, now just to show you what's happening here, 2 x's, I realize you know that there are 2 x's here, and 2 plus 2 is 4. I don't need to explain that bit to you. In terms of the brackets part, you're doing 2 times x, and that's how we get our 2x. And then you're doing 2 times 2, and that will give us our 4. Okay, so what happens with the brackets is that everything inside the bracket, so if I just highlight that, everything inside the bracket gets multiplied by the thing that is outside. It has to be immediately outside, obviously, but the thing that is outside the bracket is your multiplier. So 2 times x and 2 times 2. Right, let's have another look. So how about this one then? This one's a bit more complicated. Again, we're still doing perimeter here. And this one is the perimeter of a square. So slightly different. You might want to pause the video and have a go at doing it yourself. If you don't want to pause the video because you don't have a clue what to do, then don't worry, we're going to talk about it now. But I'll just give a few seconds for someone to pause the video if you want to have a go before we go through it. Okay, so we're calculating perimeter. In perimeter of a square, we know that all of the sides are going to be the same length. I'm sorry that my picture, just looking at it, looks slightly off. However, what we're going to do, there are 4 sides and each of them has x plus 3 as the length of the side. So the most basic way of doing this is you could do x plus 3 plus x plus 3 plus x plus 3. And you can see this is really tedious and really inefficient to do that. You could, I suppose, group your x's. So you could say that this is 4 x's, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 lots of 3. But that's basically what we're trying to aim for. We're trying to aim for this. There are 4 sides, and each of them has got x plus 3 as the length of the side. 4 lots of x plus 3. And hopefully you're learning a little bit about multiplying out that bracket. So we do the first bit, which is 4 lots of x. So that gives us 4x. The next thing we do is 4 lots of 3, and that's 12. Now that we take the sign, the value from there. If this was minus 3, then this would be 4x minus 12. So the perimeter of this square is 4x plus 12. And don't worry, you don't have to work out what x is because there's no way of working it out. There's no answer there further than 4x plus 12. Okay, so how about this one then? So look at the shape, and I want to work out the perimeter of the shape. Use the things we've just been doing and have a go. Pause the video, off you go. Okay, so inefficient way, here we go. This is really tedious. 8x plus 5 plus x plus 5 plus x plus 5. Yes, you could do it that way. Far more efficient to say, well, all of the sides are the same. And how many are there of them? There are 3 sides, and each of them is x plus 5 long. We don't know what x is. We can't solve for x at the moment. So we just carry on with what we've got. We've got 3x plus 5 here. We want to expand that bracket. And we've got 3 times x. That gives us 3x. We've got 3 times 5. And that gives us 15. And so the answer to the perimeter of this shape is 3x plus 15. How about this one? This one's a bit more complicated, but not a million miles off. I want you to have a look and see how you could try and work out a shortcut to working out the perimeter of this shape. Okay, let's look. So there are 4 prongs here to this cross shape, and this cross shape has got y and then 2 lots of 3. Okay, so we could, I don't really want to have to draw this, but we could do y plus 3, that's our first section, plus y plus 3, second section, plus y plus 3, I bet even the most interested of you lot are getting bored now. Y plus 3. Okay, there's a far quicker way of doing this. What's the way of doing it? Well, we know that, we could do it as there are 4 prongs, each of them the same. So let's try and just group them so it's really obvious to you. I'm going to use a horrific pink color here. That is a section. That is a section. That's another section. And that's our last section. Now, each of those sections has got exactly the same measurements in it. We could say that there are 4 lots. Oh, I like this pink. We're going to stick with it. 4 lots of y plus 3 plus 3. Makes sense so far, hopefully. You can obviously simplify that further. You can say this is 4 lots of y plus 6. Okay, and we're going to expand out that bracket. So we've got 4 lots of y, which will give us 4y. And we've got 4 lots of 6, which is 24. So the perimeter of this shape is 4y plus 24. Okay, now we're going to think about area. So this is our rectangle. I've actually already written the simplified version of this because I'm sure you know how to find the area. You times the length by the height. We've got 6 times x plus 2. Well, I've already written it for you. We've got 6x plus 2, 6 times x plus 2. And to find the area, we're just going to simply expand that. Let's get off this pink. It's giving me a little bit of a headache. And let's go here. So we've got 6 times x, which is 6x. 6 times 2, which is 12. So the area of this shape, we don't have units, is 6x plus 12. Okay, now there are 3 questions here just to get you warmed up before you go and do your task. All you need to do is expand the bracket, and we'll talk about it in just a second. But if you pause the video, write down those answers, expand the bracket so that we don't have any brackets anymore. You don't need to find what x or n are, you just need to expand the bracket, okay? Pause and off you go. Okay, so hopefully you have done 5 lots of x, which will give you 5x. You've done 5 lots of positive 3, you can see the plus sign there, and that's 15. So this is 5x plus 15. Next one, we've got 3 lots of 3n. So 3 times 3, 9, obviously. So we've got 9n, 3 lots of 4 plus 12. Here, now this one's a bit more difficult. We've got a half times 6x. Well, that's like to multiply something by a half is the same as saying half of. So half of 6x is 3x, and half of 4 is 2. So that is 3x plus 2. Right, one more question for you, a little bit more difficult. 15 times a third of n plus 2. Okay, pause the video, quickly do that one, and then you're going to be getting on with your task. Okay, so 15 times a third is the same as saying a third of 15. A third of 15 is 5. So that is 5n for this bit. And then this bit is 15 times 2. So that is 30. So this is 5n plus 30. Don't worry about doing simplification for any of these questions. The challenge that you've got is to try and find the expressions with brackets where the answer is 10n plus 20. So give it a go. When you're doing this, you can pick as many answers as you think are not the same. Please make sure you answer the ones that are not the same. There are 2 tasks today. This is the more basic one. There's another one which doesn't have a video, which is a little bit harder. Everyone needs to do this activity, and I would like for as many as possible of you to do the second activity. Okay, off you go.